some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah, hope I get away with it. Oh, the doo-dah day.
And we're back.
Howdy.
Hello.
Hey, folks.
Welcome to day 600 and something of billionaires having pissing contests.
Yep.
Oh,
I don't know how the Onion is still coming up with stories at this point.
But they're having to steal stuff from the National Enquirer.
I don't know how they're coming up with stuff at this point.
I mean, shit.
At this point, the National Enquirer is damn near actual news.
Getting close.
You can't make this shit up. Give them. They keep it up, they will put them out of business. Of course, I do miss the weekly world news. Of course, y'all remember that scene in Men in Black, don't you?
Yep, sure do.
Are you kidding? This is our intel briefings. Oh.
Yeah, Carl.
How did you get twisted? Oh.
I don't know. I was just born that way.
Pull this damn thing apart again.
There was a Chattanooga actually made weekly world news, and it was about a true story.
Okay.
This they were restoring our one of our famous movie houses, the Tivoli Theater, which has become now one of the little off-Broadway theaters.
Okay.
Beautiful old movie house theater. Well, it went through a renovation, and somewhere along the line, they found a purse in behind one of the air conditioning units. And,
okay.
They tracked the woman down, and, it made, the local news and all that. The girl said she remembered losing it there. She didn't report it stolen. She figured she just lost it. And, she didn't have any money in it anyway. Well, by the time it made to Weekly World News, it was hidden by one of Al Capone's people and stole all her money. What, Dan?
No, just going. Anything to tell a story.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh,
Anything
Carrie.
to tell a story and make a buck.
Uh-oh. Carrie has made friends with the geese at Chattanooga State. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, Carrie, but how are you going to get the geese to join your cult?
He did the smart thing. He's been feeding them. Oh.
What was that we were saying on screen about karma? Oh no, another match from Ancestry telling me I may be related to my mother. They do that all the time. The son said not to feed them. So you did anyway.
Don't encourage them. That's when you have a little, like a Ziploc thing in the sewed into the bottom of your pocket, and you walk around with bird feed and just
Yeah.
let it dribble out your pants leg.
Last time I actually witnessed that trick being pulled, it was roofing nails during a strike.
Mm.
Ooh.
Yeah, that struck me as being dirty pool right there, but
Well, oh, Dan, you know bird seed will grow.
oh yeah, it'll grow all kinds of things.
Yeah. It's amazing when you got a field that says, for a high school field that says, for the team called the Lions, and across the field in different colors, it says, colors of green, it says Wildcats. Not that I would know how that was done or anything.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a complete mystery.
Yeah, I'm sure you are completely innocent in this case, Joe Dog.
Absolutely. I was not there. I did not buy the bird seed. I had nothing to do with any of the implementation of the project.
Our town police chief called me the other day for a IT issue. I see his phone number pop up, and on my cell phone, I just answer it, going, "I wasn't there. They were dead when I was, they were dead when I already got there." And I hear the one rookie that's been riding patrol with him go, "What?" And she's like, "That's our Parks Board president. Don't pay any attention to him."
Oh yeah, I think I'm going to have to turn my air conditioner on. It's 84 degrees in here.
Jesus Christ, I would have died of heat stroke an hour ago.
No, I mean 78 to 95 is my comfort zone. Of course, I do remove a few clothes once it gets to be in the 90s, but no reason to get Mrs. Woodsman upset.
All right, melt this down.
Or Mrs. Grundy, for that matter. Let's get that box over there.
I might have to get some Halloween colors in this paracord and make Joe Dog some little paracord lanyards to hand out.
Ah.
Yep, you've put your foot in it now. What was that about karma?
I'll just charge them $125 for a booth.
I was going to give them to you to
125.
hand out to some of the new folks.
Hmm. Well, I'm a little upset with Amazon right now. They sent me a notification of air conditioner I bought from them last year.
Mm-hmm.
Has a recall. They said they will replace it if I will pull it out and send it back to them. They'll send me a new one.
In the original box,
I'm going,
you know,
I don't think so, Tim. It's working perfectly.
yeah,
It's working. I don't feel like finding a box that large, nor do I feel like taking it out and
paying
trying
the
to pack
shipping.
it up.
Wait, no, they'll pay for the shipping, but wait the 2 months to get it back.
So you know what you do? Do it in December.
That's when it's going back.
Yeah. That way, the 2 month wait, it's not like you're going to be using it during that time or should be using it during that time.
Hell, the way the damn weather's, they're talking. Hell, they're talking about it's supposed to get up nearly 90 tomorrow, and the highs are barely going to break 70 next week.
I don't know what I'm looking at for tomorrow. What do we got here?
Oh, my Weather Channel app on my iPad has suddenly decided that it's going to go into an infinite loop when you try and fire it up.
Oh, that's not good.
No, but I have weather-wise and my radar as well. So, and the Weather Channel for desktop, you can't find what you're looking for all the ads in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to know whether or not what's the chance of rain for tomorrow. It might take you 45 minutes to scroll past all the automatically playing adverts and get to any weather.
Let's see what Paracord Planet has going on. And no new deals.
Well, Lindsay finally got tired of her packages getting crushed to fit inside our mailbox so that they didn't have to pull in the driveway and walk 5 feet to put it on a bench outside. So we bought a large size mailbox today.
Uh-oh. And?
And
Is that expectations of incoming?
no, it's basically she got tired of too many envelopes marked "Do not fold" getting folded and shoved into the little mailbox rather than them pulling in the driveway and walking it down and pulling back out. So nope. If she's going to do mail orders on stuff, it's going to be way too big to fit in a mailbox unless you just have a U-Haul van there with a flag on the side of it.
Well, hello, Oh,
Hello,
John.
stranger.
Sorry, I'm
Hey.
late.
Well, that's all right. If you can't get here on time, just get here when you can. We'll dock it from your pay.
Exactly what I did because, it's kind of funny. I'm sitting here and the sun was out, the sky was bright, and I looked over and it's 5 minutes after 9.
Time to run a brush through your hair and grab your coldest drink out of the fridge and pop on in the room.
Oh, constant ads was what killed AM radio. That and FM sounded better. So.
Yeah. Where'd you hear that from?
Carl, just put it down in the chat.
Oh,
yeah, that guy. That guy. Yeah. See, I am still a big radio fan, even with all the commercials. I mean, but a lot of times, a lot of my favorite stations aren't Chattanooga stations, so I'd have to listen to them over the internet, which is even worse because not only do you get the radio stations ad, you get the internet. What do they call it? Mobile app ads and stuff like that for internet. Yeah. I sat one day, I don't know what was up with it, but I was listening to this radio station down in Mobile, Alabama, and so I got Alexa to play the station. She starts on. It goes to it's an iHeart station, if I remember correctly, and they did the iHeart ads. None of them were Chattanooga area ads, which sometimes they are. They'll have like iHeart will do Chattanooga area ads, and then we'll play the radio station from Alabama, and the Alabama station will do their Mobile, Alabama ads. Like I happen to know that Mobile Ford is having a sale right now, and if you don't have any credit, they'll hook you up. But I turned it on one day, and the iHeart app just kept playing iHeart ads over and over. This went on for 15 minutes. No radio station, just their ads. I had to stop it and restart it. So, and it kept playing the same ads over and over. It's like 3 ads, and it kept playing them in a loop.
Well, the company that KZ106 is with, John?
Yeah.
You know how they had the country station up there at the end of the dial?
Yeah. What was it, 107.5 or something like that?
107.9, whatever.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah.
Well, in the infinite wisdom of the corporation, they decided to cut the live DJ there for the night shift.
And do a playlist. Yeah.
Yeah, run a playlist, and I became friends with that guy. Well, not only did they cut him from there, they cut him from the station completely. He was on running 2 different stations.
Yeah.
2 different shifts. So to save money, they cut him, and the day they cut him at 9:00, that station played the same 3 ads for 9 hours.
Because there was no one there to stop it and play music. No.
Yeah.
Rock 105 used to have this guy called Boner.
Yeah.
Boner in the morning, which was hilarious. But it was Chattanooga's hard rock station for a while. And somewhere down the line, they decided to fire all their DJs, let them go.
Yeah.
And bring in, and instead of having DJs for Boner was let go. And they had this DJ out of Los Angeles that was doing his show that was taking the place of Boner.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. And the problem was Boner was very much a local music guy. He would promote local bands and what was going on at what club in Chattanooga and stuff like that. And of course, when they fired him, all we ever heard about was ads for concerts going on in Los Angeles. Yeah, like we're all going to jump in our pickup trucks, drive all the way out to Los Angeles, California to see, Guns N' Roses or something. Yeah, and R.I.P. Boner, as Curie says. And
Yeah, he passed.
I can be extremely eloquent when I want to be. And I went onto their website and I posted, and I'll find it here one day. Well, I may not be able to now because they switch. I'll explain that in a minute. I posted a couple of paragraphs just lambasting the idiots in corporate radio that had done this. And 2 weeks later, Boner got his job back because apparently I was not the only person lambasting these idiots.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Boner died shortly after. That was kind of.
And the new studio is now named in his honor.
Yes. But here's what's funny. It used to be Rock 105, 105.5. Mm-hmm. That same station that owned, or the same company that owned the station, had another station called Kiss FM, one of the Kiss network stations. And for some odd reason, just recently, they have switched the two stations. The Rock station is now 103.7, and the Kiss pop music station is now 105.5. And Alexa still hasn't figured this shit out. Okay. Because it's funny. If you say, Alexa, play Rock 105, she will go, 103.7 Kiss, and then it'll be Rock 105's music.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But if you tell it to play 103.7, it'll go to 105.5 and play the Kiss FM station. So
they've not updated their what's it, meta tags or whatever.
Metadata.
Mm-hmm.
I may be ignorant, but I know that one. I keep getting spam all the time offering to teach me how to correctly word my metadata for my drive traffic to my website. And I go, after 28 years, I think everybody that really cares has got us bookmarked.
I love the ones I get from them. It says, we're following up with the email we sent you once before.
What century was that?
I usually reply back and say, well, thank you, but I think you're fucked up because you never sent me anything in the first damn place. And I normally get a snappy response back. Well, you can just unsubscribe at the bottom of the email. Well, don't damn lie to me that I missed an email you sent. Realize 1, I'll argue. Realize 2, I love to argue. Realize 3, I will do it just to piss you off.
No, not you. You'd never do that.
Just like when I was pulling out of Walmart over off Gun Barrel today, John. This guy, I'm just taking my time pulling out of the parking lot. This guy gets right up behind me, blowing the horn. John and Dan understand what blowing the horn at somebody in the South means.
Yeah, means you got to park and like check your phone real quick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It means I must go slower.
I don't have that problem in the pickup truck. If I don't constantly check the speedometer, it drops from whatever speed I'm going to about 50 and hovers there on its own. Now, don't get me wrong. The truck will get up and go.
Where
It's
is
just-
Zach when we need him?
That's true.
I mean,
There is no cruise control that I've been able to find. The manual says there's a cruise control option available, but evidently the first owner of this truck didn't go for it. Just like he didn't go for the key fob and the power windows. So I
Dan,
got a working truck, so I'm proud of that. I'm very happy. That's what I wanted it for.
that sounds like you got a fleet truck. It's white, right?
Yeah,
It was probably a fleet truck.
I don't have the faintest idea.
Yeah, Ford fleet vehicles, I mean, live up to Henry Ford's motto. Comes in any color you want as long as it's white.
And don't ever try and put a magnet CB antenna on there because it's made out of aluminum, and
Yeah.
that don't work. I had to get a stick-on metal disc to put in the middle of the truck roof to be able to attach the antenna magnet. And to this day, my CB radio will only let me hear truck drivers in Chattanooga talk to each other. I shouldn't be able to pick up anything at that distance, except apparently there's a huge repeater tower up there with.
there are several repeater towers through the Smoky Mountains. So you're right at the base of the Smoky Mountains, so you're probably picking all that
Well,
up.
not on just regular CB. There's no repeater on CB.
Well, yeah.
On ham, yeah, but not regular CB.
Yeah, there are repeaters up through North Carolina, or used to be. They might not be there now after the hurricane, but
I've got the bloody thing sit on channel 19. I've never heard anybody local. I've never got a call back from anybody on a radio check.
now the repeaters up through the mountains are mostly channel 13. Is that? No, wait.
No.
Which one is the
Nine.
emergency channel?
9.
9.
9. Channel 9. Excuse me.
They don't even use that anymore.
Well, not since everybody got cell phones.
But yeah, I'm driving around. I'm hearing guys go, "Yeah, I figured out I'd try this new tower here in Chattanooga," and I'm going, and they're using call signs. I mean, like they've got a ham radio license for the truck.
Well, that may be the guys with the really big antennas, because some of those, if you beef up your CB radio so much, you have to have a
Ham license.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a ham license, but similar. Yeah.
Yeah. Back when I bought my first CB radio,
Carl might know.
I had to get the ham radio license because that's what CBs fell under back in the 70s for some strange reason.
I'll never forget my dad and his CB. He had a 3kW amplifier.
BKW?
3kW.
Oh. Single sideband. Yeah, I know that lingo.
Yeah,
I
one
don't
day.
know.
You know what 3kW is, don't you?
3 kilowatts. Yeah, that's
3,000 watts.
yeah,
that is a small radio station.
Uh-huh.
One day this
I've known gospel stations that didn't have that much wattage.
One day, well, it's one night we were talking, we gathered around the CB at my house like old folks used to gather around the radios.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy twisted his beams towards northwest. This guy was shooting, skip, and all that. And my dad keyed up and hollered at him. He goes, 218, Chattanooga, Tennessee, calling out to whoever. He said, "Can you hear me?" And, there was no response. And finally, the guy came back. He said, 218, I'm not allowed to talk to you because of distance. I'm in Nome, Alaska.
Damn.
Oh, my little brother got in my old Oldsmobile with my first CB radio, and there was a I think it was a Radio Shack in New York City that had just evidently they got all the amplifiers in the building hooked to this one CB radio, and he was
there's some
talking
guy
to him
in the Radio Shack looking at all those amplifiers going, I wonder if he hooked those in line. And
daisy chain these together. How far could the signal get out? Probably Alpha Centauri.
Of course they had to put the antenna on the roof of a 40-story building.
It didn't hurt. But what amazed me was not that my brother was able to hear him in my little dinky car CB, but they could hear him back.
Oh yeah.
So they obviously had some serious antenna going on.
Well, this was back early 90s. I had a sideband in, and when I get off work, I flip over to, I think it was 32 on the upper side, and I'd talk to a guy in Nashville on the way home from work. Joe, I don't know if you've ever heard sideband before, but it has that duck quacky sound to your voice.
well, I thought that was just you on a Friday night.
What is that, a Cobra 29?
Oh, wait. There we go.
It's,
Wait, can y'all see that? Yeah, try to see it.
a 19, Cobra 19.
One of these days, I'm going to have to actually play. Hey, there's an idea.
What?
When we go up to
Outside?
Outside Con. Yeah.
I can throw one in the truck. I got one. I got it just for going back and forth to Outside.
Now you tell me.
Of course, there's nothing funnier than watching an HHR pull a camper and start down this side of Monteagle.
Now, I have never seen you drive the HHR. Last time you drove the van. So.
Yeah. Well, this was back before I took over Halicon.
No.
I'd take my little camper up there. And I'd start off the mountain. And when I start off the mountain, I'd just kick it down a gear and I'd never touch the brake. And I started off one time. I passed this one truck going down, and he goes, "Guys, you better look out the bottom. There's a little bitty car pulling a trailer coming down the mountain. He ain't hit his brakes yet." That's why I keyed back and I said, well, when you drive for a living and you just on vacation, you know not to, to use them lower gears. He came back and went 10-4, good little fella.
Good buddy. Yeah, but it just surprises me that I can't hear any of the local truckers that I know are still using CB. I can't hear any of the farmers that I'm pretty sure are still using CB rather than using their cell phones.
Usually rock quarries and ag mills use CBs.
Mm-hmm.
But you just got to find out what channel they're on.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't have bothered except in the van. It's become so useful when I roll up on a
Traffic.
rolling roadblock and I go, okay, guys, I'm way back here in the back. Which lane do I need to be in to be able to merge correctly?
Well, y'all throw that in little Yoda as you come up.
Say what? Oh, no. She wouldn't be able to stand it. I mean, I've got an antique back here that, yeah, we could do that, but just making it temporary, she wouldn't be able to stand the wires not being hidden. That would mess with her OCD. And besides, when we go to Helicon, we have to take the van for cargo purposes.
Well, I mean this next trip up.
Yeah. We did that. I guess it was last year, the first time. And she goes, "Oh, I hate the fact the air conditioner doesn't work in the van." And I'm going, "Well, we're not vending. Why don't we just take the Toyota that the air conditioner will run me out of the car and you can be comfortable?" And she goes, "You'd be willing to do that?" And I'm going, "Yeah." And thank you, Carl. That was something I knew, but I hadn't experienced. So, and sometimes the skip will do that too. The signals go so. Yep. Well, it still doesn't explain why the antenna that came with this CB radio is not picking up anything local. That's a mystery to me. I've got another antenna, but it would mean that I have to super glue a larger plate to the roof of my van or my truck. And I have no guarantee that it's any better. I mean, I've used them both in the driveway without actually having a magnetic plate to mount them on. Just set them up there. Since I'm not driving, it's not going to blow off.
The last vehicle that I used that magnetic antenna on with that CB radio y'all saw was my little Isuzu pickup truck. Okay. And it worked great. Now, here's the thing. My new pickup truck is that to the 2024 Toyota Tacoma. Okay. I don't know if the roof on it is metal that will, hold a magnetic antenna. B, everything in that thing is computerized. Okay. LCD screen, touch screens, just everything. There are no gauges. Everything's LCD.
Mm-hmm.
Be just my luck I put that damn magnetic antenna in there and kill the damn truck. Okay. Uh-oh, I think I killed Dan. Oh, no, there he is.
No. I was just thinking, well, wait a minute, you're not Nick. You might be able to get away with it. And B, the little bitty antenna I got on mine, I mean, it came with the radio. It's less than 8-10 inches tall, something like that. And I'm going, how does it work anyway?
John, has your little Cobra 19 been tuned up?
Hell, I bought it at a yard sale. I don't know what the hell it is.
Now, I had an old Jeep Cherokee that I had one of the original bag cell phones.
Yeah.
And when somebody would call, you'd think that motor was blowing up.
I've been tempted to go to one of those off-road Jeep places that sell CB radios and antennas, and just go ahead and get a redneck whip and put on the pickup
Oh,
truck.
the 102-inch.
Yeah, just go ahead, loop it all the way over to the front bumper from the back bumper, and let it fly. Because it's not going to, as far as I can tell so far, it's not going to be driven to any conventions. But, sometimes around here I do need advance warning of, hey, they're repaving one side of the road, get over in the left-hand lane.
Oh, happy birthday, Fritz Ling.
Oh, yes. Fritz, a couple of my cousins, several other people I was
Hello,
worried.
Kevin. Welcome to the show. We talk about, since I see you're a new...
No, wait a minute. Haven't we seen... I think I've seen that name before.
Okay, I don't remember.
Is he one of Zach's buddies?
I don't know.
Well, he can tell us. He can type.
Really?
Yeah, welcome to the madness. We talk about anything, everything. The subject could change at any different time. I mean, imagine a bunch of ADH kids trying to hold a conversation.
That's, all right. Well,
describes this perfectly.
Yeah, let's go ahead and okay. Back during when COVID first started, Joe started doing the StreamYard thing. That Joe. Okay. And he started this show, and the main reason was because of COVID, we couldn't go to any of our favorite science fiction, fantasy, horror conventions that we'd like to go to. So this show is based upon all of those conversations that you hear at sci-fi conventions and fantasy and horror conventions after all the programming is done and all the people are sitting around in the lobbies, in the hallways, in the room parties, yet drunk off their butts, just having conversations. So that's what we got.
And the first show went 4 hours and 20 minutes.
It's his fault.
Yeah, StreamYard gave us 20 hours a month, and we blew that in the first 2 days.
Boy, did we. I wonder whatever happened to that tornado show we did.
Who knows?
Which tornado show?
There was a tornado that went through South Chattanooga.
East Brainerd.
Yeah, East Brainerd. Yeah.
We were live on the air.
And none of the news stations were talking about it except TV 12 had the what was her name?
Well, it was Channel 3.
Was it Channel 3 that was out there?
Paul Barris.
No. The girl that was out there by herself with nothing but her cell phone.
Oh, yeah.
Darn it. And now I got to go find her name and stuff. But nobody in Chattanooga, it was too late at night. None of the news stations were there. None of the live people were there. So.
Well, it was Easter Sunday.
Yeah. It was this one young lady. She was new at the station. She was with the weather crew. She was out there in the middle of tornado damage with her cell phone doing live reports. And that was it. Nobody else in Chattanooga was talking about it except for her and us. And
well, Paul Barris was on the air when it happened. Because you remember Paul goes, "Oh, this doesn't look good."
You never want to hear that from a weather guy.
He goes, "That's debris echo." Oh, this thing's getting big. And it ran right through my son-in-law's aunt's backyard. Didn't bother a shingle on her house. Took out 2 buildings and the back half of the house behind her, and sucked the water out of her swimming pool. tornadoes are weird creatures.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Pulled
someone once sent me a fantasy novel to review,
Yeah.
and tornadoes were creatures in this thing. They actually had personalities and were speaking characters and whatnot. And he did something I had never seen anybody do before. But every elemental character had their own font. So I'm going, yeah, this makes it really easy to keep track of
Who's saying what?
who's saying what. But I mean, good Lord, man, it's 500 pages.
Yeah. Well, the wild thing about it is, if you're standing on her back deck looking, there was a garage over here, and then there was a garage over here. Well, this garage got wiped completely out. I mean, it just picked the building up and left all the equipment and everything sitting in it. The garage on the other side, it was a 2-story garage, and he had a 1968 Chevy show truck in it. Pulled everything off the thing, picked the truck up, turned it around, and set it down, and scratched the roof. Insurance company came in and says, well, we're going to have to total that truck. He goes, like hell you are. The problem is the tornado took all the trophies that truck won. He goes, oh, like hell you are.
Exactly.
I mean, even with, all the muck and everything all over it, this thing is a prize-winning truck. The only damage is paint.
Yeah, y'all ain't totaling my truck just so one of y'all can wind up using it for an everyday driver.
No, it would have gone to a scrapyard. Scrapyard looked at it and gone, yep, crush it. Oh, and during the Cash for Clunkers deal, some of those dealers drug out and hung by their toenails. There were 60s era Camaros and Mustangs and Challengers scrapped.
Get a rope. Find a tree.
Yeah, I saw news reports where people are talking about, why are you doing this? Because we had to claim it on the class. No, you didn't. I mean, there were some of these $15,000, $20,000 Mustangs that were scrapped over an $8,000 incentive.
No, don't make no sense. First job I ever had while I was working my way through college, I worked at a place that rebuilt pallets and made wooden soft drink crates.
Ah.
Up next to the office, the owner had 2 Corvettes from before the manta ray shaped design. They were under plastic. He would allow us to open the door and sit inside just for a thrill. Didn't mind that. wouldn't let anybody smoke inside. Of course, I didn't smoke in those days. Those things were in impeccable condition. And apparently, he kept them mechanically sound as well. Of course, he owned the local dirt racetrack about 2 miles further down the road than the little factory was. So he was getting ticket money from the racetrack as well as all the money from rebuilding pallets and building soft drink crates.
Well, I hate we lost our little dirt track last year.
Oh, what happened?
What happened? Oh, this developer came in and bought it.
Oh,
Yeah, the money was too good. And the
Well,
reason,
it was an interesting location.
do what?
It was an interesting location.
Yeah. Actually, it was a 2-state racetrack, Dan. Turn 3 was in Georgia.
oh, okay.
They put in this fancy development, luxury homes and all that, in across the street, and the neighbors were complaining about the noise.
That's like people that buy land near an airport complaining about the noise. You knew the airport was there when you bought the land. Why didn't you go someplace else if you wanted peace and quiet?
Oh, what was the one I saw recently? It was about this guy in New Orleans that bought a house on Bourbon Street, the French Quarter. Okay. He bought the building, put an apartment in it, parked his Porsche out front, and the bar across the street for the last 20 years has had a bubble machine up on the balcony on the second floor of the building.
Yeah.
And as people walk by, there's bubbles flowing out, and it's a attention getter, and he was bitching about all the bubbles landing on his Porsche. So he went to the city and complained, and they made the bar get rid of the bubble machine because it said he's got a legitimate claim, he owns property. And the bar, of course, was like, we've had this going on for 20 years. You just can't move in here and tell us not to run the bubble machine. It says, well, you don't have a license for a bubble machine, so there you go. So 5,000 people showed up on Bourbon Street with bottles of bubble soap and little bubble wands and stood out in front of this guy's house and blew bubbles for 5 hours.
On his car.
On his
car.
I love people.
Yes.
Hey, don't move your new ass in and start complaining about what's been here for decades.
Oh, have you ever seen this sign that talks about there's this farmer, or rancher actually, and he had a cattle ranch. Okay. And the land next to his land, somebody bought it and put in a development. It was all high-end, condos and stuff like this. And so the day they started building the condos, he puts a small billboard between his property and the condos and says, "This is a working ranch for a farm," whatever. And it says there will be smells. It says you will see animals fornicating. Okay. If you cannot handle this with your petty little brain, do not buy a condo next to my farm.
Yeah, that's pretty much what John was just talking about. Yeah.
The pigs were there first.
If the parents do homeschooling, they can talk about the birds and the bees, or the horses and the horses, and the.
I didn't pay.
The cows and the kinky people in building 14A.
I didn't pay $500,000 for my house to smell cow shit. Buddy, the cow shit was here long before your house was ever built.
Mm-hmm.
Long before your house was ever designed. It's like the people that move out here because they get a deal on a McMansion and then find out there's 14 chicken houses 500 feet up the road.
Our neighborhood, we are in the what I call the last subdivision in Ringgold, Georgia. Okay. Everything south of us are private homes, a cattle ranch, well, a couple farms actually, cattle ranch, farms, stuff like that, all the way up to the creek. And at the base of the creek, you go up a mountain that is a state park. When I say state park, I'm talking about deer and bears.
Mm.
Okay. Last month, there was a bear sighted in someone's backyard north of me, meaning this bear had to walk past my neighborhood to get up to these people's backyard. Okay, that's.
He could probably smell
Exactly,
the serious putty that you didn't bring home from the Middle East. Yeah, Carl, that's about the size of it. They must never visit the site before putting money down on the houses.
Look, okay, I can see a developer, real estate agent not mentioning, oh, yeah, there's a nuclear power plant right next door, and crap like that.
Hell, run me a drop cable.
Oh, did y'all hear what happened up at Gatlinburg?
What now?
Well, there's two stories from Gatlinburg. Just across, they call it the river, but that little creek runs through the middle of Gatlinburg. This guy comes walking down the steps, got his hands in his pocket. Built about like Joe, got his hands in his pocket. He comes walking up. Bear comes walking up behind him, grunts. He turns around and looks at it, kicks at the bear. Bear backs up. He turns his back to the bear and starts walking again. Bear keeps walking. He reaches down and slaps that bear upside the head and tells him, go on.
Yeah.
Bear's like, damn.
Get out of here.
Hey, okay. You can't outrun a bear, so you might as well beat the hell out of it as best you can. Okay, that's plain and simple. If the bear's going to fight you, the bear's going to fight you. If you smack it first, you may let it know that it picked the wrong person to fuck with. So,
and if it ignores that, then you're going to have to rip a light pole up out of the ground and just proceed to bludgeon the bear for a little while till it decides, hey, this food fights back. I'm going to go find me a tourist.
And then on their little mountain single-seater roller coaster thing, the bears now sit at it and wave. As it starts up the little mountain side, the bear will sit there. And when you drive by, you're looking at it and you like this, and the bear goes,
Nice.
I'm trying.
Candy bar.
pay the taxes.
Dan may help me out with this because this is up in his neck of the woods. I-75 near Carbondale.
Yeah.
Where is that approximately?
Even though I know it, I don't.
Yeah,
have
that's
any.
where I'm at. I've seen the street sign, but I could not tell you where it is.
I don't have any geographical location, but if it's 75, it's north of Atlanta or south going.
No, it's in Tennessee. Whitfield
it's in Tennessee.
County. They said
Okay.
Whitfield County. So I'm
In Tennessee?
yeah.
Well, there's a Carbondale Road in Whitfield County, Georgia.
Yeah. Oh, is it Whitfield County, Georgia?
Yeah, down towards just the other side of
They
Dalton.
just said Whitfield County. Let's see, I-75.
Yeah.
I know I've seen the sign for Carbondale exit, but I could not tell you where.
It's going towards Atlanta.
Yep.
How far down, you know?
Not very.
Before Bucky's.
Oh, really? So it's before Calhoun. Okay. Dalton. Calhoun.
I can't remember where I-20 lets me get on 75 North. Somewhere around, what is it? It ain't Clarksville. Cartersville?
Oh, I was looking right at it. I'll be darned. Let's see, Circle K. Okay, it's south of Dalton, but north of Osaka. So,
Yeah.
the reason I bring this up, just so y'all know, is there has been a crash on I-75 at the Carbondale exit, Whitfield County, along with one northbound lane blocked. So I-75 North is blocked at the moment.
Oh yeah, the big fire right under, like right by one of the bridges. It looks like.
No, that was way out by Memphis.
Okay.
That one's bad today. They're gonna have to. That's gonna screw everything up in that neighborhood because that's like, it's a small town and that intersection is it. I mean, it's like an intersection and two gas stations, and it just
Carl,
Exactly.
That sucks.
Carl, you are not wrong, but in earlier generations, it was where that church used to be before it burned down, or
well, back in the day, it was like, up past the Stuckies,
yeah,
or just past the Stop and Go, or past the Shakies, and stuff like that, over by Goonie Golf, it's, and then of course all those businesses went out. So, look, hey, Joe will tell you, back in the day, okay, if you were giving directions on Ashland Terrace, everybody knew where the DX station was.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And when was the last time you saw a DX gas station?
They're all gone.
Oh, they've been gone for 40 years. Well, hell, Joe.
50.
The one we know of wasn't really in existence. What? 60 almost 60 years that get DX.
Early 70s.
DX.
Because I remember my grandmother buying gas there.
DX gas.
But Dan, this thing had Corvair. I mean, it was a closed down gas station, and parked were Corvairs, Camaros,
old Chevy, police car. It was a. You ever heard barn finds?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't even that nice.
Carl, I could not tell you.
Yeah, a lot of stuff went haywire in the 70s during the
Oil crisis.
I believe you're right. I think DX got bought out by Sunoco.
All right, I'll be back in a few minutes.
Yes. It got by. It was Sunoco is redirect from Sunray DX. So apparently DX used to be the Sunray DX. And strangely enough, Sunoco got its start with 7-Eleven.
Okay.
Really?
I did. I'm reading it right now. So either they're lying to me or.
Hey, it's hard to find a 7-Eleven down here anymore. They still exist, but
there's a few. They're usually on the interstate with gas stations.
Well, they used to be just little corner stores. Sunday mornings, I'd get sent on my bicycle down past, down a couple of hills, and that tells you how long ago it was. A kid was able to ride a bicycle in Athens traffic, and nobody noticed, nobody cared. I actually had to cross one of the main throughways in Athens, pull into this 7-Eleven, pick up an Atlanta Journal and the Knoxville, whatever the big Knoxville paper is called. Because, that was Dad's stomping ground. So he wanted, and I knew it had the best cartoons on Sunday, the best comics section on Sundays. Oh no, Carl, the Stuckies, it was an adult store. Down here, it used to be a Pizza Hut, but now it's an adult store. And they also sold the brand of Mall Ninja knives and swords that Thesis absolutely loathed with a white hot passion. I know
here we go.
They used to get their catalogs.
Let me see. In 1968, Sun Oil, which became Sunoco, merged with Tulsa, Oklahoma-based Sunray DX Oil Company, which refined and marketed fuel under the DX brand in several Midwestern states and included several refineries. Its Tulsa refinery was operated by the company until its sale in June of 2009 to Holly Corporation of Dallas. And then,
boy, I wish I could remember the gas station that Dad always went to in between. Well, it was just outside of Clinton, Tennessee. It was one of those. They didn't have underground fuel tanks. They had 1,000-gallon tanks sitting there around the station, and when you bought a gallon of gas, you got a whole handful of S&H green stamps.
there was S&H. There was, what was the yellow one? S&H were green.
I really don't remember. I mean, back when I was a kid, the most successful store in Clinton was one. Their entire inventory came from fire sales. Some factory caught fire. Some what do you call it? Department store or something caught fire. They would buy out their entire stock, and then $5 pair of socks would cost you 50 cents for 3 pairs. It was the 60s. What do you want from me?
I think it was Quality was the yellow one. It was Quality stamps.
Okay, I vaguely remember Quality gas stations.
And they were big in Chattanooga. I know that.
I vaguely remember Quality brand gas stations, not gas stations who possessed Quality. 2 different things right now. Yeah, Kevin, we float all over the place and talk about everything, and we probably already bored you to sleep, but
All right, I'm back. Yeah.
Okay. Go into the little beer fridge in the corner.
Yeah. Let me see. For those of you who are too young to remember, back before they had those stupid little cards that you had to scan before you get your discounts at the grocery store and such. Do you have your bonus card? Yeah. Back then, they had green stamps.
Mm-hmm.
And what they would, once you bought stuff, they would issue you the green stamps. And you could get these books and put the green stamps in the books, and you
Just-
could then take
yeah.
it to a green stamp store. The S&H green stamp. Every local area had, some stores had their own brand. Like I think J.C. Penney's and Sears both had their own brand.
Yeah.
There
And,
were yellow stamps. I can't remember what they were, and then
Quality.
the green stamp.
that was I believe that was the quality stamp, and then the green ones were the S&H. That was the big one, was S&H
Yeah.
green.
Yeah.
But quality used to, I think it was quality, used to have a store down near Memorial Hospital, down near Park Region Hospital, a long time ago. And you go in there and you could redeem the stamps for merchant. You buy a toaster or a blender
Or a tent. We bought a tent.
Mm-hmm. There were what now would be extraordinarily valuable knockoff Tonka toys branded with the gas station's logo. Like
Yeah.
You remember the was it BP station or no Hess?
Hess, yes, I was about to mention
Used
that.
to have
Yeah.
little Hess trucks and cars and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they were basically rebranded Tonka toys. They were tough.
Yeah.
They would stand up to a 1960s era 12-year-old's abuse. So yeah.
Remember the Tonka truck commercial? The kid said, "An elephant stepped on it."
And then they showed an elephant stepping on it. And the elephant goes,
The
"Nothing's happening."
The elephant lifted up on his hind legs, raised his other paw in the air. Truck didn't crush.
Didn't bend, didn't break. There was a guy at the factory I worked with. He bought some really cute micro pickup truck. Had no emblems on the tailgate, so you knew they weren't proud of their product. And I told him, "Man, you need to go to one of the detailing stores and have them paint Tonka on the tailgate just to mess with people." He seriously considered it for about a month.
Yeah, there's those trucks.
Mm,
And there are still Hess stations out there that have those.
Really?
Yeah.
oh, I remembered the one that Dad went to all the time. It's called Peer. Peer. Had the above ground gas tanks and everything. And I remember vividly.
Pure Fuel. Is that the one you're talking about? Pure?
No, Peer. Peer.
Oh, I don't remember them. My dad used to collect these. I don't know what happened to them. Oh wait, there's a classic right there. Are y'all seeing that? Or
We're seeing a whole bunch of photographs.
We're seeing the thumbnail.
okay, hang on a minute. I clicked on the one and it opened a new page.
Around here, KO Gas
Yep.
was the known as the self-service station. I remember when KO was full service.
Okay, that is one of the old ones. That is a 1977 Hess truck, mint condition, in the original box, going for $235 now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, I vividly remember one day when gas prices went up and Dad pulled into the Pier station, filled up his 56 Bel Air, or was it the 62 Impala? I think it was the Bel Air, because the Impala was Mom's car. Anyway, he comes stomping back out of paying for the gas and he goes, "I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to afford to drive to work. They just raised the gas prices from 12 cents a gallon to 13 cents a gallon." Yes, folks, I am not only that old, I am older.
I remember my dad, he used to buy Amoco white gas for his Coleman uh, stove and
Yeah.
lantern.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Well, I guess we won't, next camping trip, we won't have any light at night. Last time I'm going to pay 41 cents a gallon for white gas."
And we look around at the gas pump today and we go, oh, wow, it went down from $3.50 to $2.50 a gallon.
Mister, we could use a man like Herbert Hoover again.
We got one.
We got one that's trying to put us all in Hoovervilles. Yeah.
Didn't need no welfare state. Everybody pull his weight. Gee, how low the salary rate. Those were the
No. It was, gee, our old LaSalle ran great.
Oh. Okay.
Believe me, I've done enough trivia in my time. Yeah. I think it was a Buick.
Wow. Man.
So I still have an old. It's actually meant to be a shaker, like a alcohol shaker. My grandmother never used it for that. She used it for shaking up, making like roux and stuff with it. But it's one from Marathon gas stations back when you'd collect the stamps and stuff and be able to get plates and silverware and
Mm-hmm.
all the stuff from them.
You mean a cocktail shaker?
Yeah, it's only about this tall altogether.
Yeah, but they make them in all sizes.
And she used that for, like, when she'd make chop suey, she'd use that for her to make her thickening.
Oh, yeah.
And God help you if she could not find that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Anything she was making thickening for, that was the cup that got used. Because she knew exactly how much to put in, how much water. Pop the top back on, shake the hell out of it, and add it in.
Oh, there was something I had always wished that I had bought. It looked like an Arabian design, a little charcoal stove. Basically had all kinds of things hanging off the sides. I'm going, oh, it's solid brass. That'd be a pain to clean, but it looks really pretty. And I kept going back to the Pier 1 imports, and people had shoplifted different parts off of it over the years. Oh, yeah, okay. Joe has posted the lyrics.
No, I posted.
You
Oddly
did?
enough, for some reason, I'm not sure what's up with the YouTube and the other link. We've only got 2 links going, Joe.
Yeah.
So we're not doing any Facebooks at all.
No.
No, Facebook's fixing to delete all the live videos anyway. Why bother?
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, did you notice that they have assigned one of their AI Nazis to our page now? We now have our own personal AI Nazi.
Yeah, they tried doing the same thing with the humor group, but Carl and I both went in and disabled that.
Well, it re-enabled itself because I got a notice it was now enabled for the secret humor group.
Yeah, I got the same thing. I went in and looked, and all the features are still turned off. So it shouldn't be actually posting anything, because like one of the Facebook town chats for our town, it enabled on there, and it posted the other day, what place has the worst coffee in the area?
Yeah.
Starbucks.
And then it does like a weekly like recap of like some of the top posts.
Yeah, we really, nobody. I bet Zuckerberg cannot find anybody outside of his own company that said we need this crap. But we're going to put it in there anyway.
Is that
AI we spent money on?
Is that 85 into Atlanta?
That's out near Memphis. That's that one intersection.
Oh, okay.
You see here.
And the only ones who were saying that we do need it were the ones going, "Ooh, we get to code this, so it'll save our jobs for a little bit longer."
I wonder if Zuckerberg's going to figure out we don't want his AI crap. Okay, let me say this. Let me say this really close to the microphone so Alexa gets it here. We really don't want this AI crap on our websites, Mr. Zuckerberg. Okay.
Well, I'm sort of tickled that, Doge now means Department of Getting Even.
That's why I wanted to see. I sent an invitation to Zach. I guess he's busy with other things. But I wanted to talk about, was it Trump said he was going to defund, he was going to make the government quit spending money on Elon Musk things. Like he wasn't going to spend any more money on SpaceX. And Elon Musk comes back and goes, well, I'm just going to decommission all the Dragon capsules and you can figure out how to get your people to and from the International Space Station without me.
Oops.
And apparently, Trump's going to have to go hat in hand and either apologize to Elon Musk or apologize to
Russia.
Vladimir Putin to try and get the fucking Soyuz capsule to go up to the International Space Station and rescue astronauts and stuff.
Of course, then Musk also fired back and says, oh, by the way, Trump's all over the Epstein list.
Mm-hmm.
Like
we knew that to start with.
Wait a minute. How does Elon Musk know that?
Because he got all the paperwork. He got to go through all the paperwork.
And besides, Trump bragged about it on camera. There are recordings.
Do you remember a scene from the Kevin Costner movie Untouchables, where he goes in and he tells the judge to change out the juries because Al Capone had bought out everyone on the jury, and he went in and sat down, and the judge sits down. The judge got a very worried look on his face and tells the bailiff to go to the other courtroom and get their jury and switch their jury with his jury. And Al Capone goes nuts, and the prosecutor looks at Kevin Costner, Elliot Ness, and goes, "What did you tell him?" He says, "I told him his name was on the list of people that had been paid off by Al Capone." And the judge didn't argue with him.
Kind of pointless at that juncture, yeah.
It was a 50-50 chance. Either he was paid off by Al Capone or he wasn't. So he played his bet and won.
Well, guys.
Ooh, yeah, it's about that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Let me fire up the other channel for 15 minutes and
I'm going to try to actually go to bed early. Oh, have any of y'all been watching, Amazon Prime people been watching The Accountant?
No.
It's worth watching. The Accountant 2's out, but
Oh yeah, yeah.
the
Ben Affleck and the new one, Accountant 2, has got what's his name from Walking Dead, played the Punisher.
John Barathoff.
That one.
Yeah. Well, he's in the first one.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. All I'm going to say is the two big punchlines of The Accountant made you go, damn, I did not see that one coming. I mean, almost Sixth Sense. Oh. But yeah, and The Accountant 2 is just a continuation of The Accountant. But it's got a good punchline in it too. Is Joe sitting very still or has his screen froze?
Probably both.
Oh, okay. No, your screen's froze. All right.
Yep. Both my screens went black earlier, and when they came back up, the camera's been black ever since on my screen.
Oh, okay. Well, I was wondering how long you're going to sit there with your finger in your nose.
Till I reached the brain.
All right, guys, we got to say goodnight for real this time.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, folks.
Say bye.
Okay.
Bye, y'all.
I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand, and touched the face of God.